Welcome everyone. Whew. Guys, it is indeed time for another chat. Man. Some days just get the best of us, but as you know, we're always trying to keep our week solid, so I actually am just coming off of playing a little bit of Clone Hero, the Guitar Hero PC equivalent, and it actually made me think about a topic. A topic we surprisingly haven't talked about, especially since I have talked about the rhythm games before. Let's face it, guys. We are all really busy. Our lives are filled with work days, meal planning, housework, taking care of the pets, and just about anything else, if you think about it. And everything I just listed, guys, there's a decision of some kind, right? Some decisions, of course, have a little more impact than others. Can't really imagine the idea of buying a Steam Deck has the same gravitational impact, if you will, as deciding what to cook for dinner. But, guys, both are decisions nonetheless. Gang, I bring this up because as people, we're weighed down daily by a lot of decisions, and as we've talked about in previous videos, time is the one thing we always want, and a lot of times we just don't have the time to make them all. When it comes to gaming, especially, as we've discussed before, again, time is a large factor in our decision-making process. You couple that in tandem with just being walled with decisions, well, when those two components, if you will, go hand in hand, that, well, we've talked about that before, that can brick you, hit you with the old decision fatigue or analysis paralysis, especially when we're looking at our beautiful library, whether it be digital, physical, or a little bit of both. As I know, we start getting into our heads, oh man, games like, there's Persona 5, it's gonna take 100 hours to beat. That's quite the commitment. Right? Right? That happens to everyone, right? Well, this is... It's time to get a little Morpheus in here, guys. What if I told you, not every time you go to play something, is it some major decision or a huge time sink? Some kind of 100-hour requirement or something like that, fighting for your time. Of course, guys, I'm not saying anything that anyone hasn't already said. You already know this, because gaming in general seems to have leaned in this type of direction overall. Now, granted, live service games, MMOs, gotchas, stuff like that, are always trying to keep you in their ecosystem, but those aren't really like what I'm talking about. I'm actually thinking more in the opposite direction. There's another game style, if you will, more that I am referring to. Of course, guys, you know it from the topic title, and that is just kind of a pick up and play style game. I've also heard in other videos and other creators refer to it as like a session game or a session style game experience. And honestly, guys, that type of experience, God, it's really been around forever, right? You know, a little bit of background, of course. I came up through the N64 era all the way to today. N64, PS1, Dreamcast, PS2, all the way up to Series X, PS5. Haven't really missed an era along the way. And the ability to grab a controller and play for a bit without the impact of like a large, deep cutting narrative or deeply involved game mechanics, that'd always be something I always want to have available. It's, you know, the hip pocket, the pocket sand kind of thing. Games like Guitar Hero, like I mentioned at the beginning, they do this the best for me. It's just a game where I can grab my guitar and play a couple songs before I call it a night. Just having the free time to engage without any extra pressure, without any need to like heavily focus on something like a story or something like that. Now, speaking of Guitar Hero, I know I mentioned it again at the open, but recently Noisy and I have actually taken to the Fortnite Festival. While I figured Fortnite would have never got me in, it's not really a surprise that they found a way to finally get me. Festival operates very similarly to Guitar Hero or Rock Band for that matter. You know, it offers the instrument options. It is kind of a branch off of like the traditional Fortnite tree. I bring this up because this has actually become a really fun addition to our week. We get logged in with our Ezio Auditore avatar, or most recently I unlocked John Cena. Noisy's pretty excited to play him. But regardless of who we select, we have this awesome squirt gun guitar, and we take the time to see what new songs are added. Usually once a week, just to see what they're cycling in and out. Really, it's a nice way for both of us to still have a good time, but not have some of the other factors, such as like having to keep track of some kind of elaborate plot or something akin to that, right? And essentially, it's just nice to have a more simplistic gaming experience. Whether we're strumming along the songs or taking on a few tracks in Burnout or Mario Kart. These are the type of games everyone should take a moment to experience. If for no other reason than to just let your hair down after the workday. Yes, I'm aware I'm bald, but the statement still works. Get off like my workday is well, my work days aren't always great. You know, today was kind of a rough one. But you get off work, play a couple songs on Clone Hero, Guitar Hero, Rock Band, Fortnite Festival, maybe get in around a Mario Kart. It just works. Like, and I know it may seem strange to think that there's like an amount of pressure I or any of you guys may feel when you play. Similarly to when I watch a movie, I find myself fully engaged in the plot. I'm not just following along, but also in a lot of cases, I'm trying to figure out throughout the movie what the outcome may be before it actually happens. Now, within that outlet, within the watching outlet, I guess I would say, I'd say like watching football is kind of my pickup game within like that medium. A few hours where I can just have a good time, enjoy the overall experience, not a whole bunch of depth involved. Ironically, the sports games also seem to make good pickup games to play. So keep that in mind. And WWE action, right? Honestly, guys, that'll probably about wrap up our piece for this one. I just wanted to put a video out chatting about some of the recent fun I had with some of these quick game experiences. Again, it's just you have that tough day, and even if you don't have the tough day, just taking a moment and not having to feel like, okay, every single game I have has this big overarching narrative or this giant open world, this checklist I gotta go through. Sometimes it's nice to be like, oh, there's a couple songs on there. I can just, you know, do that instead. You know. Yes, guys, behind every 100-hour RPG or live service time sink is that fretboard filled with notes and a good time waiting to happen. So guys, remember to take that opportunity again from time to time just to get a quick game in, and don't always feel like your next experience has to be that large commitment. The second we get a chance to just breathe and enjoy things. Guys, take it from me. We should be taking it. Let me know if you guys have been taking a little break from the traditional kind of modern gaming experience, whether it be the grind or just, you know, a big story or something like that. And if so, what are some of your favorite pick up and play games? What have you been getting into? I hope you all have an awesome week as always, and you do get that chance to relax and enjoy. Take care, everyone.